We run? Run. Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome back to something a little different. Uh, Ever since I've done the some of my upgraded runs and ran into a particularly interesting objective called ShellShocked, I've had it in my head that I want to do this particular video. And now, um, just to give a little more context, Deckers is a game that is obviously fantastically played solo. I've gotten 10, 20 hours plus out of it this game solo, and I intend to keep playing it solo going forward as well because it's a fun game. It's very well balanced for that particular challenge. But one thing I've noticed fairly consistently is that in solo you are often not at threat of losing based on running out of tokens, out of sparks. You are often gonna have enough sparks to go around. And the reason for this is simple math. In a standard, and pardon me setting up, in a standard three cycle SMC fight, like Alpha, let's use Alpha Moby as an example. In Alpha Moby, right, you've got bronze, silver, and gold. You're making on average one spark a turn during bronze, two during silver, and two during gold, right? So that's 3 plus 6 plus 6. So 15 sparks. Let's assume that you start the game with, I don't know, 8 in play on top, so that's 20-ish, 22-ish, give or take. If you don't even explode once, you will literally never run out. And this results in scenarios where, yeah, I can't get from green to yellow to red to blue because I'm a lone decker playing on my own, but it really doesn't matter because I don't have to clear up sparks anywhere else. I just have to make sure they don't explode into a disaster situation. So, when I've played this game multiplayer, specifically four player, but even two player, I've noticed that unironically it becomes a bit more challenging because now you don't just have uh, uh your main character that you're dealing with. You've got all these other people running around the board, and on each of their turns, you're spawning sparks. So that same early game phase, let me put it this way. For Monty Quantum playing solo, there are 9 turns to beat the game. You gotta go fast, you gotta stay efficient, but at the end of the day, 9 turns, game over. For a team of 4 players, there are 12 turns in the copper phase. There are a total of 36 turns across the game. So you get this really long epic. And if we assume 2 sparks per turn, right? Well, that hits in something like the 70 to 72 spark range. The spider during the silver phase, forget the gold phase, the silver phase, right, is going to drop 6 sparks per decker. That's 24 sparks across all 4 deckers. Oof. So, there are times where the multiplayer game can actually seem even harder than the single player game. And that inspired me to decide one day I want to try doing single player multi-handed solo, whatever it's called, where you play multiple characters by yourself. And that got me to thinking, what if we could include all 5? Now, I don't know if you guys ever played the old SNES game, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Turtles in Time, but in Turtles in Time, one thing that the characters would say all the time is shell shocked, and I'm sure that's from the show too. And not only would they say shell shocked, but oh no, shell shocked. And then there was the Technodrome, which was this giant technological contraption that frequently needed to be dealt with. So all of this has made me want to make a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Deckers versus the Spider, because of course the Spider, why not? Uh, and that's what I'm gonna do. It's going to be 5 player, 5-handed solo. Now this game officially only supports 4 players, and there's more than a couple reasons why that should be the case. Because if you play with the full complement of deckers, X plus 1 objectives would mean 6, and there's not enough of everything to go around to make that happen. Firstly. Secondly, uh, there are certain scenarios that require you to be at 0 sparks in order to even have a shot at getting through them, because you will use up all 25 otherwise, most likely. I'm gonna play it as it lays and get through it, but one blanket way that I'm going to adjust to make Technodrome mode, as I'm calling this, where we're hacking the Technodrome, work is anytime it says X plus, anytime it refers to a number of deckers, you can choose to interpret that as 4 instead of 5. But if you choose to interpret that as 4 instead of 5, you must skip 3 turns. In other words, you can't play every decker's full set of turns. You have to go -3. Which might mean that somebody doesn't get through their deck, and they just essentially the round ends and they shuffle up what they have left. I don't know if that's going to work or not, but it seems interesting, and I want to try it. I am leery of introducing the upgrade 2.0 to the spider, but I am tempted to do so. Certainly because the name is shell shocked, I feel like I should add the shell shocked objective. That's what it's called, right? God, I hope it's called shell shocked. If I just remember it wrong this whole time. Yeah, it's literally called shell shock. And that will result in an incredibly epic finish if we need to get this thing shell shocked 5 times. But for the time being, let's go ahead and just roll up some random objectives. So we've got 5, 3, and 7. 2, 1, 2. And we do have Rupert Stan in 3, 4, 5. So that's going to be very interesting to see how he does. Okay, well, there's 5. And then 1, 2, 3. And you're going to see that some very interesting things are introduced to this game. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. When you don't have when you have a finite number of everything, because that finite number of everything includes having a finite number of programs. So if blue wants to build an 8-step pathway and green wants to put down abilities to drop 9 green things, that's 17. You can't actually have them both live to their full potential. Then you decide to make an installation to temporarily relieve the burden of on programs, but you can't afford them all because the guy who can make the programs is low on green symbols or something. Like you get a lot of that kind of mixing up back and forth. The other thing that I'm not even sure how it's going to begin to play out is how the heck am I going to control this many players on camera? So I've decided that for today, my minimum objective is to get through phase 1. That's it. I've actually drawn some extremely straightforward and easy objectives for if I am playing solo. Double switch, have exactly 2 sparks on every space 4 on each decker's home server. Neural matrix, have at least 1 green either program or installation on each odd numbered space on X servers, where X is number of deckers plus 1. So that would normally mean we need it on 18 squares and 6 servers, but there are only 5. So we're going to interpret that as 5, which means that we're going to have to accomplish it in 3 less turns. And then finally, message queue. I don't remember message queue. Create a message queue on this card by repeating the following sequence X times, where X is the number of deckers. Red, yellow, blue, green, spark. Okay, so we can interpret that as 4 if we have to. When the active decker performs a shift action, instead of actually pushing the selected thing, they may remove it from the network and put it on this card. Okay. So what this is saying is we're going to need to push a red, a yellow, a blue, a green, a spark, a red, a yellow, a blue, a green, a spark, a red, a yellow, a blue, a green, a spark, a red, a yellow, a blue, a green, a spark, a red, a yellow, a blue, a green, a spark in order. And as we do it, these will be removed from the network, not returned to the supply, which means we're going to be -5 on reds, yellows, blues, and greens, which means we're going to have only 5 of each left on the board because when you have, well, I guess -4 technically because we can treat X as 4. So we're going to have 4, 8, 12, 16 missing programs, which leaves that's the wrong way to think of it. We're going to have 8 missing programs for each color, which means we're only going to have 7 of each left in the box, which is very limiting. But we have Rupert's stand, so if we've set up a bunch of purples, we'll at least be able to take critical actions in multiple locations. Potentially, we're definitely going to need Spider on active for battle stations at that point. So we're going to need to create installations during the silver phase so that when we lose programs, we can still make yellows and reds. And if our ghosting stations are already set up, then we don't have to be as fearful of losing greens. So it'll really come down to just the blues and the sparks, which we can use. And then we'll enter the shell shock phase, and we're gonna need to do that 4 or even 5 times. Ugh. My original thought process when I was like picturing art for this was Raphael, Leonardo, Michelangelo, Donatello does machines, and then uh, the runner of all the turtles would be Splinter. But I'm starting to think that this is clearly the Splinter character because the turtles have to do all the fighting. They are the ex-Steckers, and he's the helper, the team coordinator, leader, whatever. Let's just go ahead and make this even worse. Upgrade 2.0 is fine. Uh, all that means is instead of Sparks being on random servers every time, they will always fall on the same server. But uh, oh, it also adds a white Sparks during the gold phase. Actually, that might be a bridge too far. That might be a bridge too far. I'm gonna put this on standby and not use it for now. Um, because I don't know that I'm going to be comfortable surviving that. We'll see. But I do think that the shell shocked objective is staying regardless. So let's go ahead and move these guys to the top corner here. We absolutely should be able to blaze through the first 2 phases ordinarily. So now it's going to come down to what we're going to get when we have to run 5 characters. I'm going to keep these guys' decks. How do I want to do this? Oh, wow, this is the challenge now. I have to figure out how to organize my play space to make this possible. You can expect this to be a multi-part video series. I doubt very much I'm winning this in one sitting. God, that would be a long sitting. Uh, let's do this. Let's. Huh, it looks like I killed my light. I'm gonna turn my light back on. There we go. And then market is gonna have to be set up. I'm gonna keep the character cards off the board. I know everyone's abilities super well at this stage, so I'm not too worried about, how will I remember what to do. Um, and instead, ooh, question. The end of turn step, the active decker removes all things that have at least one on each adjacent space. Yeah, that's bad. So if I'm getting ahead of myself and thinking about what this is gonna play out like in this hard mode challenge. Let's just get going for now. Okay, so if hypothetically I set up the market here, this is not this is not the live market. We're gonna shuffle that up. I'll set the grid here. These guys are not in play. Don't need that die. I'll get that out of play. We've picked out our SMC, we picked out our challenges. The next step would be to build a random network. It almost doesn't matter. Actually, I'm just going to shuffle these cards underneath here, these tiles, and use that as the random order, so no problem. Alright, well, looks like we're starting with pink. Based on the final objectives, really there's nothing here that benefits or harms in any specific way. So my goal in building this is just going to be pink, blue, red, is just going to be massive connectedness. And I want everyone to have a piece of yellow if at all possible. Green and then yellow would ideally connect like this, maybe. Yellow and green could be like that. Green doesn't look super well connected here. Green's much better connected if we do that. So the spider squares, the squares with the fewest neighbors are just these guys that are inevitably so. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 closed squares or more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 closed squares. So this is a pretty well joined together network, and the most vulnerable spot that starts off heavy sparked is the most well connected and therefore the most likely to be able to escape. Unfortunately, red is not very central. I wish he was. We'll get Splinter ready. Actually, that's a fair point. You guys can't see the top-down standees as well as I can. Let me spend another minute. I love these standees, honestly, but since technically we're not even playing with the characters as characters, let me bring out their flat icons that I usually don't bring out. Oh, these aren't the right ones. These are the Tokyo Black and Oshinoro and yeah, I love playing certain color. When I play a certain color, I love playing a certain decker with them, so the other one very rarely gets used. I do want to try a fragmented server Tokyo Black one day just to be like maximum silliness, but that's very much not a today problem. Who are you? Perfect. Rupert Stan can go here. Well, where are the ghosting tokens if I didn't put them there? Are they two-sided? And I just, yep, some of them, these are two-sided. Well, I'll do that then. So you're here, twins, which unfortunately there's only one of those and there needs to be two because they are going to be twins. And then heady magnetic, aka Leonardo. Yeah, this is you can expect this to be a more leisurely paced, fun experience rather than me trying to hit a specific target or teach too well. This is I don't even know how I'm gonna play this. Normally my videos cover 9 turns, and in 9 turns I won't even be done with the first phase. Alright, what else we got? Spark on each odd numbered space. On each Decker's home server. Yeah, so normally I would have tons and tons of sparks left over when starting the game. But if you look at our current position against Spider, because of the sheer volume of players, we are actually down to our last few sparks. We only have, I'm going to take these out of the box for easy accounting. We only have 5 sparks left. Now, granted, that is enough for everyone to get one turn, but we will actually fail the game before we get out of the copper phase, without any explosions, mind you, just on ordinary spawn sparks. Like, that's how challenging this position is. Also, the spider web is well and truly drawn around our Splinter, because, as I see it, he's got, uh, whatchamacallit, he's got a program and he's surrounded by sparks. Everybody else has the luxury of having a little bit of breathing room. Technically speaking, though, place one on each space on pink, place one on each odd numbered space on each Decker's home server does not specify that is empty. So, actually, we only have 2 turns. Yeah, I might have bit off more than I can chew. Pretty sure this is impossible. But, you know what? Never say never. Winners never lose, losers never quit, blah blah blah, or whatever that phrase is. Space 4 on each Decker server has to have 2 sparks. That is the win condition for phase 1. And moreover, the benefit is to remove those and gain green programs. So we're gonna get green programs aplenty if we can succeed this phase. Shuffling up the market for start of game. Let's move the standees off the board. Um, Better yet, because I'm gonna need some way of keeping track of what I'm doing and organizing. Oh God, that is a terrible market. Well, actually, the EMP is at least something. The EMP is something. We are gonna need a second marker for Michelangelo and his shenanigans, so he'll get the Deckers as well as the Cyber Twins. And there we go. I'm hoping this is very clear for y'all to see. If I'm wrong, after I watch this video for myself, I'll go ahead and I'll switch back to the standees, because I do prefer the standees from a gameplay perspective. But I have a hunch I'm going to be right. We're going to do... You know what? Let's do it this way. Let's just follow Roy G. Biv order. So these are the yellow Deckers deck. The red. I love these tuck boxes, but getting that last card out can be a real pain. Yellow. Green. So it is going to be incumbent on whoever goes first to get rid of some sparks. Specifically, one of the sparks surrounding uh, Splinter to get him out. Alternatively, Splinter could go and just move away and try and get rid of Sparks for his trouble, but I don't love that plan. You'll notice there's a lot of red symbols in the market right now, so absolutely possible to just buy a bit of power and then go from there. Okay. What I'm realizing is I don't have enough table space to put all 5 of these decks side by side. So let's go like this. Red, yellow, green. Can we bunch the market up a bit tighter? Red, yellow, green, blue. I want their discards to be above them, so I can see the discards as well. And then have space beneath for... Oh wait, why are these sparks here? Did I miscount? Oh, glory if I miscounted. 135, 135, and double 135, 135, 135, and all of pink. Okay, we have a lot more Lebensraum now. That's actually very helpful. I thought we were just dead in the water. Um, can I move my board in such a way to make a little bit more space for the market? That's all we need, just a little bit more space to do this and this. And then we are good. Red, yellow, green, Leonardo, and Splinter. And what we'll do is we'll have their hands, their first hand of 5, beneath them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because I can still choose who I want to pick each turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Probably should have gone with Alpha Moby now that I think about it for my first run. Something a little less cruel. 3 sparks a turn might just be asking for too much. And maybe not taking on the ShellShock when I was done. Oh well. Let's, so much for regrets. Red, yellow. Actually, I'll put them sideways so that you guys can see them too. And Magnus. And now, at last, we can start the game. Do not roll the black die on spawn steps. Skip the move sparks. Oh dear sweet God in heaven, thank you for skipping move sparks. I don't know why, but this light keeps going off. It's either something weak about the way I've got it plugged in, or something it's been programmed to do. God bless it. All right. Let's begin. We've already gone over our first objectives, which is to fill up 4 spark space. This guy's halfway home. This None of the others are. This guy should be able to simply Leonardo should be able to simply carry sparks around and get it done. He wasn't able to build a network because 5 minus 5 is 0, so we don't start with any blue programs. 5 minus 4, if we wanted to be cheaty, would have been 1, but we don't need to do that. That's fine. Looking over decks one by one. So starting with red, we've got a couple yellow symbols. Can you guys see when I do this? Is it super dark? Is that better? That's better. We've got a couple yellow symbols, a red and a wild, blue and a wild, double blue, yellow and wild. Reasonable, but not great. He's also in great proximity to start attacking here. Blue and yellow would be the other ones I would consider immediately, so let's take a look at blue's deck. Oh, these standees over here are going to be great. Leonardo, what do you got? Double yellow, single wild. Wait, this isn't Leonardo. It's a good thing that we checked this. That's Splinter. Although let's take a look at Splinter. Yeah, man of the hour. He's got single symbols aplenty and the double yellow, so he could potentially buy out some of the stuff in the market, but nothing really beneficial. He gets the Nidum ship, and potentially he can use that to move away from the kill zone here, but that's about it. He's not debulking, he's not reducing the risk of getting guardian spawns. I'm not loving him as our first pick. Who else we got? Heady Magnetic. Sure, I'll take a look at you, Heady. You're close. What can you do? Single red, green, yellow, yellow and wild, and double red. So he's got a few offensive symbols, enough to buy both the EMP and the Catalyst outright. He's not buying the ship. He doesn't have a red program, but he is heady. So if he could move, and that's the rub, because he doesn't have movement, but he does have a wild, and he could spend these 3 to turn them into a wild. If he was so inclined, he could move 1, 2, carrying this spark to here, use that as a red, and then launch a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 attack against that spark. If successful, he clears that out. He's teamed up, and he's begun to debulk this whole server a little bit. That's promising. Leonardo's my front runner for first pick right now. Cyber Twins, aka Michelangelo and his shenanigans. Have we looked at them yet? They also have a red and a double red, so they're primed for buying. They could move in on 1. Uh, they would need to find a way to move further, and they don't have one, unfortunately. They could spend all of these as movement though. Or they could double shift from where? They could shift Splinter's program, potentially. Yeah, so they could move here, shift Splinter's program here, right? And then they could do what? They could do all of the buying stuff that we talked about, and they could launch a heavy attack using the EMP on this base, if they're so inclined. Which, if successful, clears this and gets the EMP effect. And if unsuccessful, they've still saved the pink program. Yeah. And there are 2 of them, so we've deployed one of them to a different server. So self-server becomes less painful. We're not definitely rolling on a bad server. Yeah, we're going to let Michelangelo take the first turn of this ridiculous game. Mikey, Show me your stuff. Oh, wait. There's an issue. Yellow Decker's deck is full of yellow cards. If I buy out two red cards with it, now I'm doing both red and yellow from the same deck, which is fine, but it does work at cross purposes. I would rather focus my abilities within certain players. So Hetty is neutral in that regard. So we'll let Hetty take the point here. Hetty, you're up. Sparking on. Blue. Over here. Hetty is going to begin with everything we talked about. We're going to buy and we're going to buy. When we remove from game, I'm going to immediately put these things back inside the character's boxes because otherwise there's extremely high probability that I mess things up. So, Leonardo, take your upgrades. Reticle, man. Alright, then what? We could do the push strategy. We could push this out to here. Nah, but if we do that, we can't move to it. We still need to be able to move to it. Well, we could. We could use all three of these as a movement. If we had another yellow, we could make another purple. Oh, no. That's not our ability. That's his ability only. Which he should be doing as much as possible because he's Splinter. Yeah, this is fine. Where was this? Here? What we can do is... How much movement can we generate with all of this? 2. If we spend this to buy the ship, we are in bad shape. Yep, we're going to spend 1, 2, 3 yellow, green as a move, and the wild card as a move. It's a bit slow, but I'm okay with that. No. We're going to use the push plan. This is a green, so we're using that green to push itself up here. It's the benefit. We're going to rescue this extremely cool program for our own purposes. This then goes to discard. Discard is here. Okay. We're going to move 1, 2, 3. Could make a new yellow. Don't need a new yellow. We're going to spend this and this to buy the Nidum ship. RFG this. This gets to be discarded. Leonardo upgrades his travel capacity. He's got 1 movement power. Can he possibly make use of that? If he were to go off the grid for 1, nope, he's dead in the water. He can carry his blue with him, but I don't think that's beneficial. It might be. This move costs 0. Carrying it with me costs 1. Yeah, just spend the 1 and move. That's fine. Okay, and now we're going to do the emit EMP. That's 1, 2 reds, plus 3, and hopefully I roll well enough that I don't have to interrupt it with the catalyst. But if I do, I will do so. Yeah, I just caught it going off, and I don't know why. It's like the connection's loose or something. It just keeps coming unplugged. Apologies about my shoddy lighting setup here. Give me a minute, I'll get that back on for y'all. There you go. Alright, first attack. Leonardo, show us the way. Oh, that's not great. 1, 2, 3, 4 versus 1, 2... Wait, no, we're red. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 versus 2. That's a kill. And we get to remove 2 adjacent sparks. I think these are probably best because Spider starts from the lowest and works its way up. So that gives us a temporary breathing room. The emit EMP is spent. The red is notably not. We're going to hold that in reserve because he can discard that on anyone else's turn. So now we can take some unfair fights and have a shot. That's the first turn of the first cycle of the first attempt at this ridiculous nonsense. End of turn step. Check for strangulation. None, 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 none. Everything lives. Second turn. Key objectives. We do need to eventually start playing to our goals of moving sparks to 4. But again, I'm thinking in terms of like single player game where I have 2 more turns to do that total. Oh, this is the market, of course. But in this game, it's the opposite. In this game, if I spend the next 6 turns just fighting sparks, I'm doing fine. Shifting those gets me there. These are all great purchases. Anyone who has singles should be going right now to upgrade their deck. Take a look at I guess if this is Splinter, this is Mikey, this is Leo, this is Raph, then all that leaves is Donatello, which he's not the green guy, but he is my crazy machine managing builder, and he's got a handful of singletons that he can buy out the market with, and just the right doubles, and the Deception Strike is useful, and he needs to build greens. This is as good a time as any for him to go, so we're going to activate Monty Quantum, aka... Oh, wait, you should be drawing 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We should know what your hand is. Starting deck preview. Wait, this is the purple starting deck. Do we have a problem? We might have a problem. Sorry, I'm gonna sort this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And all of these that were played were the blue starting deck. So this is all correct. But when I took 5 off the top of this, this is all purple. Okay. And this is all blue. So we'll swap these back. And then we'll get a deck count to make sure it's correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It is correct. 2, 3, 4, 5 draw. I'm gonna have to keep these straight if I can't afford mistakes like this later on. He's got a lot of blue potential, as to be expected. Some push and some combat left in him. We'll just keep that here so his turn is ready for later. And let's double check that this stack is all purple. It sure is. Okay, good. Activating Donatello. You see that last one? Mostly. Let me tighten it up for you. Donatello, aka Monty Quantum. We're gonna need to be a little cautious, but first things first, of course, Spark on yellow. Is that a strangle? No. This is a key space to save. He is not in a place that needs a lot of work, to be frank. Just yet. What happened? I think this thing is actually overheating, and that's why it keeps going off. So, yeah, what I'm gonna do is unplug this from here. Make sure it's not the fault of the wiring, and then put it in here. Too many things all at once. Okay, we picked him for our upgrades, so let's upgrade. RFG, let's get out his box. RFG blue to buy a ship. Ships are actually potentially very useful, just not to these characters that aren't going to be doing much moving. Remove from game the single green to buy the double green. Remove from game the double yellow to buy the Deception Strike, which is huge for my green character, actually. Unfortunately, I don't know that I want to buy the Decoy Duck. Ordinarily, I would in a single-player game, but there's so many people who can upgrade for at value that I don't think it's worth putting in this guy's deck yet. Our ultimate goal is to do this, so we'll get there, but we don't... Yeah, I guess I don't have to do it immediately. If I turn 1, 2, 3 into a wild, and then do this to build 2 greens, and then immediately use a green to turn that into a ghosting station, I have set up Donatello for being the team commander. And I can immediately use this ghosting to turn that into a yellow for future value. That's very powerful. Um, I'm honestly tempted to just say that's good enough, go for it. It doesn't help anybody else though, but it doesn't have to. It sets us up for a win. So yeah, and the second and in the neural matrix phase, we're specifically going to want green installations. So this is even better. Yeah, we'll do this. Um, we need to make a green and a green. So 1, 2, 3 turns into a wild, which we use as a green, double green, and because it's the adrenaline surge, we get to make one extra when we make. So 2 green programs. But we have to be cognizant of supply and demand issues. Everyone wants greens, and we're going to run out. Um, we'll use the wild symbol here as a green to upgrade this to a ghosting station. And then we'll ghost our action to 1 to use the deception strike and immediately claim value by doing that. The reason I'm picking that and not this is I want this to be a potential option down the road. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need to come up with some visual. Actually, I can tell these stacks are half and these are full, so that's fine. All right, who's next? End of turn strangle checks? None. Filling up the market. Ginger cool. RRI huge. Not loving that there's a neurotropic bloom. But the wild given to other people and the network benefit of flipping could be useful. Only person who truly doesn't want that card, I guess, is my main decker, Splinter. Could Splinter go and then make another purple this turn? That'd be cool. Could Red go and make an installation? That'd be really cool. Let's take a look at Red's options. Red's got very little to work with and very little that they want to purchase with right now. So this is the only thing they'd be doing is RRI, but they could use that RRI to shuffle a bunch of stuff down, and then that could move them in a direction of buying the decoy duck or some installation worthy stuff. And I do want a red installation immediately here, or even there is fine, just to start fighting this clump. And we would want it probably on 6 or 5 so that it would take more work for the spider to strangle it. But what exactly does his turn look like? It's buy the read request intercept, bury the yellow or the blue, either one, probably the blue, and then draw a bunch, and then try to get something good out of what's left. I really like that. That actually makes a lot of sense. Red could go next. What about yellow? Yellow already has the single yellow to buy the double with, and has some attack capability, but not much else. We don't have any red spark or red programs down to attack with. Double shift available, but not much else. Um, Splinter, we already checked, right? Is Splinter in a place to go again or not? I would love to make more purple programs. That would be so cool. You can decoy duck to get the decoy duck, and then you can swap. Oh wait, nah. The purple's already off our network. Okay, well you could get the decoy duck, and then what we need to do is set up a yellow installation on Splinter's network so that Splinter can start converting sparks into purples. That would be truly sick. In order to accomplish this, what do we need to do? Yellow would need to be on the lead, and yellow would need to make a bunch of yellow. We can make one for sure. and everything else would just be trying to make good of a bad situation. We could buy a ginger cool. We could use the ginger cool and the data steal to buy the read request intercept, shuffle away the reds, and then try to get more options for building yellows. Probably make a second yellow. I doubt we could make all three. It's really between red and yellow right now, and looking at the board, neither is particularly well supported, so I'm gonna let Michelangelo go. Mikey, you're up. Radical dude. Blue gets a spark on 4. We're not strangled yet, but one more and it becomes an issue. But that's where we have a fighter, so that's okay. Let's make good on the plan we already discussed. RFG to yellow's box. It's gotta be into the box or we'll never figure out where these cards go again. And buy the duck. Spend double green RFG to get ginger cool. Yellow, yellow, green, and wild. Oh, no, we don't need to do that. We can go green, wild, and blue. RFG the blue to buy this, discarding that, of course. And that also goes back into yellow's box. And then read request intercept all the reds that we are not yet ready to make use of or fight with. Bury these 3 at the bottom of the deck. And I'm going to put them in face up so that I can have full information rather than having to take notes and look up my notes each turn. We got the worst possible set, which is promising. It means the best yellows are coming in the next batch. We will immediately go ahead and create another yellow, since that was the whole point of this turn, right? Uh, hmm. We could buy the Nootropic Bloom for green, red, and wild. But I don't love that plan. I just like it. There's nothing I can shift anywhere that's going to help. I don't have remote shifting capabilities. I could shift the purple to 1 if I wanted to. I could shift it to 6. That's interesting. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. I can move with one of my 2. Well, Mikey, take this. And shift uh this here to encourage Rupert Stan to come and make us some more purple. And because of the way the spider works, if we roll spark of the server, it'll spark here. So that'll be okay. And if we spark this server, that'll be okay. If we spark this server, it's getting tight, but we'll be okay. Yeah, that's fine. That's the end of turn. Checking for strangles, none. Sorry, programs none, 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 and none. Okay. Refresh the market. Let's hope for better. Decoy duck, Ginger cool, sure. Mass spread on greens. That could be very helpful, but I'm hoping that at the end of this phase we'll have all the green we need. As long as we get our fours loaded. And we do need to get all of our fours loaded. We're very far from the end of phase, but how many turns in are we anyway? Oh, we need to deal you a hand, of course. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are 1, 2, 3 turns in. Jesus Christ, it feels like a war, man. We are like this doesn't feel like we're just doing a few haha kitty script hacks. This feels like we're literally breaking into the Technodrome, so I'll take it. Um, okay, we set up Splinter. Let's see if Splinter can do anything. He does have the symbols to make a wild, and he does have the movement to get there. So his turn could be cool. Uh, what else is necessary? He could also upgrade and dig us past the decoy duck. That's good. He also can spend a blue and a green to buy the neural splash to upgrade his symbols a little bit because his symbols are pretty weak. He could use a blue and a green to buy the nootropic bloom, and he likes wilds, so that has even more potential. Yeah, we're gonna activate Splinter. Scoring on red. Red gets a spark. Red is now at risk, but not out quite yet. Um, the slow and boring way would be to make a yellow, carry it over, and make a yellow installation. Like, that's boring but practical. Um, for now, we'll play our original plan. Splinter, spend yellow. Oh, is this his first turn? Oh, it's Splinter's first turn. Okay. Yeah, buy the decoy duck. Spend a movement. We'll move with this actually because I want to save my purples for later. Wait, do I need that purple? No, I'm getting another one. Spend the purple as a movement to move over here. Spend the green and blue, removing from game the mm, the green, I guess. Yeah. I don't know how much his shifting is going to matter compared to his ability to actually just get where he needs to be. Ah, but he's going to need to shift as part of the message queue. Yeah, we'll remove the movement, actually. But anyway, bottom line, we're spending on green and blue to buy a wild that can be given to other people or used for yourself. We'll spend a yellow and wild to turn these two into a wild. Second program in play. And then finally, reserve the remainder of my turn, just in case. Splinter is out making them cool programs for everyone. And yeah, draw 5. Clear and fix the market. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. We are now getting to the point that everyone has done one turn, except of course Angel Nitrate. We are on track for completing our objective, so we don't have to worry about not completing our objective just yet. Ping Nexus, red spread. We do not feel like we have a good combat system going at all yet. I think if for no other reason than just to keep things going in an orderly fashion, I will let red play next. But if I was being overly focused on one side of the board and one goal, um, yellow doesn't have much of a path to victory right now. I guess we could. What yellow could do is buy the neural splash, spread to 1, 3, 5, or 3 and 5, and then double shift things to where they need to go. I guess anyone could technically do that. But the last thing I want is to use up my very limited sparks on that kind of thing. Um, could also make an argument for Without mobility, but with the greens, this can still push. So could potentially double push one here, push that there, or something like that. Uh, how's Leonardo looking? How's Leonardo looking? Leonardo has all the mobility right now, and that's kind of what we need to move things to where they need to be and start working on them. There are no purple installations, so that's non-factor. What Leo could do, he doesn't have much in the way of yellow. He's tilting into his red side. We need to set up that yellow installation sooner rather than later. And no one is positioned to do it. With a couple movement, Leo could gather sparks on gather up and kill sparks on 5 maybe, because you could take this with you and attack for 3-4 versus number to have a shot. But we don't have any red programs. It'd be nice to get some red programs in play. Well, if it's not Leo, it's back to Raph. And Raph can do something interesting. Raph could actually migrate 1-2 over to here and then just start going all out on building weaponry. Um, if Raph goes here for 2 and then finds a way to spend a card shifting this over here and then fights and wins, that's pretty sweet. And they could start their turn off by making another red to make this more valuable. I mean, yeah, I guess. The trick is going to be getting the right number of reds. Let me really quickly read the installation requirements. Does it have to be 3 red programs or 3... does pink count as a red program, basically, is what I need to figure out. Actually, it's probably going to say that on Rupert Stan's card, which I should have up above the board over here. Yes. Only one per space, can act as any one of blue, green, yellow, or red during any action performed by any decker, but still counts only as pink for the stacking limit on its space. Perfect. So if I took the upgrade action using a pink, I could pretend it was a red, which feels horribly wasteful considering how much harder it is to make, but it might be valuable. And Raphael could then go, oh, we were supposed to skip the first spawn of the game. Well, we'll skip this spawn, and that'll be our catch-up. That's fine. Move 2 to here. We'll waste something to push it over. Make a red. You're Angel. You're terribly positioned for this turn. Terribly positioned, Raphael. All aggro and no finesse. What about our buddy Mikey? Oh, you're not Mikey. You're not Mikey at all. Yeah, you got plenty of yellow, and you're in position. Mikey, activate. No spawn because we agreed. Making up for the turn 1 fail. We have a lot of wilds. We have a handful of yellows. We have a couple places we can take action from. If we go build a yellow, build a yellow, build a station, I have no problem with that. It's very slow, but it's a very safe space because both 6s need to be eliminated before it'll be a problem, before it'll be at risk. And and it puts Rupert in a position where he can make purples as long as he has a single yellow with a single spark. Any of these need upgrading first, even if just to dig the market. We can change this over to a ginger cool. That's fine. Mikey will upgrade to ginger cool, yo. Gotta enjoy those drinks. We still recording? God, I hope I hit record. I'm gonna be so embarrassed if all of this isn't on camera. Alright, ginger coal. We could also technically take the viral splash. I don't love this choice because I'm giving up a star to do it, but is it necessary? Let's figure that out first. If it's not necessary, then no. Could also take the star, but that's like downgrading a yellow star into a star, and yellow star is the best card in my deck, so no. The plan again would be make a yellow with yellow, yellow star, make a yellow with yellow star star, or something like that. This is 2-star. Is there no way to do this without using up all of the... That would just leave me with a double move left. Just do it. You'll be happier when it's done. Well, no. We could burn the purple program. If we burn the purple program, that gets us ahead. So make a yellow here with this guy. Turn it into an installation. Make 2 fresh yellows. And move into position. Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds really good. Is Splinter ready to take advantage if we do that? Where's Splinter? Oh, Splinter's got everything he needs, yeah. Alright, that's the decision. So, I think I want to leave this guy on his home server. I don't know why I want to do that, but I'm fairly confident it's the right play. I don't know if I'm allowed to split the movement between twins, but I'm fairly confident the answer is no. You pick a twin and then you do their actions. So, plan. Triple yellow. Mikey makes a yellow from here. Single wild. Turns these into a yellow installation. Double yellow. Fill her up. And before we go crazy and start running off, actually look at what we've got coming up. He can move if he has to, and we might be better served seeing where sparks land, because if it lands on self-server, it'll be a problem. So that's the turn. Fill up the market. Mikey is down to his last move of the round. Raph hasn't gone yet. We've got a couple moves. Oh wait, this should come out now, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we've got a couple moves left from everybody else. No 4, 1 spark on 4, no 4, 1 spark on 4, no 4. So we're not actually there yet by a long way. Mikey's going to have to use his last turn primarily winning the spark issue, and he has no pushes to do it. He has no greens to work with. He's got a wild. He's got a reposition. He's got a wild. And he's got enough to convert down to a wild. So there's probably enough in here to get it done. Wild, push, reposition, push. This is probably how that turn's going to have to play out for him. So we're going to sit him down. If someone else can save his bacon, that will be great. If not, then not. 4 for Splinter. Someone will help Splinter be okay. Uh, Leonardo is going to be able to fulfill his objectives in just one turn by just running around scooping up sparks. And he's got the blue for it, and there's a lot of blue in the market, and he hasn't taken his second turn yet. The only reason not to use him is because we were hoping to continue with production here. But you know what? If we spark this space, that will make that easier. So we'll let Leo go. Leo, you're up. Sparking. Red server. We have a problem. Red is surrounded. If we don't save that, we're gonna lose a program. So we have a new objective to consider, in addition to whatever else we were considering. And you know what? It's actually entirely possible we're going to be able to save that, so that's good. Uh, with first things first, we're just going to do the straight purchases. An item ship. Leonardo now has the ability to get where he needs to go. Just save his team. We've got a red and wild that could turn into a red and yellow viral splash, which I'm kind of digging right now because if I viral splash those reds here, I feel like there's a path for it, but I'm not seeing it yet. And honestly, that might be more of a Donatello move because then he can put the sparks where they're not harmful and put the reds where they are helpful. All right, Hetty, why don't you do Hetty? We've got a pathway of 2 and lots of movement. So the first move could be activate 2 movement or 3 movement. I'll see how much I need. Oh, actually, is it limit 1 spark carriage or can he carry any number of sparks? One extra color, one extra program of any color, or 1 spark. It's got to be 1 spark. Ah, it's very limiting. So what he could do is, with 2 movements, essentially go free move, 1, 2, and he gets his sparks put together. Uh, or and then he could one, two. He's never getting there. Not in time. Then you could knight him ship his way to the opposite side of the world, but he wouldn't have the program with him. I love the idea of him just leaving his home server behind, set up to win, and then going to help out Red. And Red will help him help Red. That feels so correct. Leonardo diving in to help Raphael, who's gotten in over his head by not taking a turn this long. um, we don't want to clear this space. Ideally, we want to clear this space or this space. Because the floors have to be filled up on purpose. Wait, the floors have to be filled up on purpose? Huh. If we go 3 movement, 0, 1, 2, 3, and then 2 movement, 1, 2, activate push, fill the 4 on purpose, that accomplishes everything we need to. And we still have an attack available to us if we're so inclined to use it. I don't like it because it feels like we did a whole lot of rigmarole and didn't kill any sparks. But the game is not about killing sparks. The game is about accomplishing objectives. This gets me closer to my objectives. And Leonardo, of all people, would know that, especially while trying to rescue a hothead. So, Leo, lead lead the team, please. We're going to go 2 movements, and they're going to be not carrying. Sorry, 3 movements. 3 movements. Not carrying. It's going to be 0, 1, 2, return back 3. That's fine. Actually, we can do better. It could be 1, 2, 3. No, that doesn't do what I needed to. I need to do the opposite of that. Could be 1, 2, 3. Nope, then I'm short on movement afterwards. I think we had it right the first time. 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay. And now for 2 movement. 1, carry a spark with me. 2, declare an attack over here. Do I push first or do I declare an attack first? I can declare an attack first. I can always push with my body if this doesn't work out. So we're going to attack for 2, and we have the discard available if it goes wrong. 3 versus 2 on the dice. 8 versus... Wait, 3 versus 2 is now 8 versus 6. That's clear. That's a bingo. And I forgot what my plan was, clearly. No matter, we'll keep this kill in reserve, and we'll use a double push to start setting us up for our objectives. So this server is already ghostable by our master ghoster, so we don't really need to help him that much. We'll go push self to here, and push spark down to here. And that's the Leonardo turn. So set, easily set. We have a plan for how to set, already set. 2 out of 5. Not bad. Leo gets a fresh hand of cards. A lot of blue with a little yellow and green thrown in. Okay. Market refills. Console Cowboy is available. That is obviously a very desirable card to have for anyone who can afford the wilds. And this guy looks like he probably can. If not now, then soon. And the only person I would want to have him more than that would be Donatello, because Donatello will have the ability to ghost to places no one else can reach. Oh wait, this is not his turn. This is his turn. What does it cost? 3 wilds? He's got greens, 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 yellow, and red. He's got 0 wilds to work with. He can buy a wild for a yellow and red, convert down to a wild, but he's not getting to 3. Not with this hand. He also should be buying this at some point, so yeah. Maybe this is that point. If he buys that now, ghosts the sparks somewhere else, pushes all of his sparks onto 4 where they need to be, and calls it a day, that sets up the next guy with a triple red where they need it. And the next guy will obviously be one of these two, and they'll use that to get their board in place. That could work. We'll leave yellow until we're responding to sparks on yellow. So Donatello has another turn after this one. So yeah, Donnie, you're up. Spark me. How nice. Spark on green. Okay. We'll start off with purchases. Yellow and red. Remove from game the yellow, keep the red. Uh, where do I want to keep the yellow? I feel like these guys are heavily tilted into yellow, and they are a good team for it. Uh, and I feel like that we can just leave as is for now. So we'll tilt these two into reds a little bit more. These three into reds, these two into yellows. Uh, double push. Where's your stack here? We're ghosting our pushes, so this is trivial. Um, ghosting an action to this square to make 2 sparks, but 3 reds on the open squares of the network. And we're going to pick here. Don't love that spot. Here, and here. None of these look great. I'll be real with you, none of those look great. We got one more double push or one more single push to work with. I think it'll be a double push. This is green stack, right? Yeah. Double push, and it's gonna be getting these sparks one down to here to accomplish the 4 requirement. While keeping these spaces open for future breathing room. And this to here, or even here, here. So that we're getting ready to build our red somehow. I haven't figured out how exactly, but that's the plan. Save this in reserve, because a single push now doesn't do you much good. Unless it's to push this to here, to help him get more red fighting power. If that's necessary, I'll do it. Let's take a look at what Raphael's looking like right now. He's looking kind of light, but he's going to buy the console cowboy. If he's definitely going to buy the console cowboy, do I just want to give him a target? I couldn't have even if I wanted to. The only way I could give him a target would be to do something like this, but then he'd have to come all the way here to deal with it, and I don't want to deal with that right now. This cost me my mission objective. It's not even allowed. I can't ghost there yet. Yeah, bank the green for later, bro. You might need it to save somebody else's lost condition. Okay. Market fills. Okay. It's, Yellow might end up having an easier time of it in the future. Oh, you know what? We could have ghosted this creation to here. Let's do that instead. Nothing else will have changed. We'll have the same spark distribution we did, but this specifically gives them the fodder they need to start creating stuff. And Master Splinter, your server is set, so why don't you go next? So that you can flood our board with the programs we really want. Oh, he has multiple turns left? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, well, yeah, definitely go next then. Spark me? Blue. Oh, we forgot to check for strangles, but we should be clean. Nothing is fully surrounded anywhere. Yep. Alright, blue gets sparked on not 1, not 2, but 3. Perfect. We built the perfectly shaped network for this game. Equal numbers, so we are totally allowed to do yellow and a star to upgrade these two into a star. And then we can double push Can we buy the console cowboy? We're trying to save that for someone else, so don't steal their stuff. Magnetic pulse, on the other hand, we could turn these into a magnetic pulse. I think that's worth it. So, uh, what we're gonna do for Rupert, we're gonna take the double move here. No. Do what only you can do. Yellow plus wild. Double yellow plus wild. Oh, no, no, no. Stacking limit. Ah, stacking limit. You can only have one wild per space. Grr. Okay, okay. No problem, no problem, no problem. We're still making out like a bandit on this turn. So get that magnetic pulse that you wanted. We will pay greens. Do we want to save the shifting? We're upgrading a 2 shift to a 3 shift, so that's worth it. We'll spend all of these. Remove from game this. The more I think about this plan, the happier I am with it. Buy that. And now, activate a mass shifting to push this here. That's 1. This... Oh, no, no, sorry, not 1. This here, that's 1. This here, that's 2. And... where do I want this guy? This here? Here? Here's fine, I guess. I don't know what I'm doing with it yet, but I'd rather someone have it, and on a square 6, which is the hardest to strangle. Um, and then I'll spend yellow and wild. No stacking limit issues now. Smart one. Do that. Sorry. I meant that. And with the double move that we have left, I think we just reserve that. I don't see where he wants to go. He's got a pathway that he's working on now, but to what avail? He could move here and put that over there, but I mean, someone else can do that. There's no rush. Uh, putting a purple over here or here could make some difference, I guess, in theory. What I think we'll do, because I don't mind him moving off the yellow square. It's not like he's doing anything with it per se. You know what? Leave him there. If somebody else makes sparks there, he'll be very happy to clean them up. We've made a purple generator. I'd be ashamed to lose it. Lose the value of it. Dig 1 and decide on our next player. We're much closer now to this server being set, so that's good. This one's set. This one's set. This is still a mess waiting to happen. So I think, Raphael, it's high time you start cleaning up your mess. I don't know how. I don't even know if you're the right man for the job, but someone's got to do it, and you're the closest. And it's self-server, so good lord, I hope you do well, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you are once again in imminent threat of death by strangulation. We could, with 2 movements, gather up 1, 2, 3 onto this square or this square, and then just be ready to fight. 1, 2, 3. Actually, we could come back here and make an installation on 6, but that installation would not be safe anytime soon. And we don't have a lot of red symbols to work it with immediately either. Is anybody holding that +2 to fight? Yes. Leonardo is still here as the backup man, and he is still willing to do his job. Thank God. This has to stay. This has to stay. This we would love to get rid of. any of these we'd love to get rid of. So if we went move, fight, that is a reasonable expenditure of our turn. Um, or if we went wild, second wild, third wild, console cowboy. I feel so slow by comparison, but maybe that's what's necessary. Sooner or later, we have to actually do something. I think this is the ideal space for our red installation. The silver objective will be to have greens on every odd space, so leaving it blank for green is another option. But we could just use this space for that, so it's not like it has to be this one and nothing else. Yeah, the more I think about this, the more I like it. Um, we'll go with it. I don't want to do anything else. Why am I so hellbent on getting the console cowboy? Because I know from prior experience how powerful it is, that's why. If we move over here and clear Rupert's side of things, picking up the reds along the way, it's a completely different strategy, but it makes sense. 6 is very unlikely to get strangled, and we've got 2 deckers already fighting for dominance on that server. These can all be SMC attack rolls and just hope for the best, and it'll get an adjacency bonus. Yeah, kind of like that plan. So that plan is move with this, buy console cowboy with 1, 2, 3 wilds. So we'll do that first. Removing the double yellow from game because you are very much not. Raphael is very much not a calm modifying conversion type of guy. He's more of a get in there and hack him to death kind of guy. Where's Raphael? That's your discard, right? Yeah. Then console cowboy is mine. We'll double move 1, 2, spent. And rather than spend this on the attack or to remove the sparks, we'll spend this and rely on our friends to bail us out if it doesn't go well. God, this guy's personality is playing out perfect. So it's 4 versus 2 on the dice. That did not go well. It's 5 versus 8. Plus 2 isn't enough. Is there anyone else who has a reaction? No, nobody else has a reaction. Wait. These should be drawn now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These should be drawn, and these should be drawn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But still nobody has a reaction. So, nope, we just lose that. Okay, well that sets us back a little. Console Cowboy is probably the right decision now. Go ahead and spend it, Raph. And remove these. Alright, and that'll be the end of turn. 2, 3, 4, 5. We are a far cry away from where I wanted to be in terms of building an installation. But at least we don't die either, because nothing is surrounded, nothing is surrounded, nothing is surrounded, nothing is surrounded, nothing's surrounded, nothing's surrounded, surrounded. No strangles. Okay. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 turns left in this massive turn 1. Uh, what we would like to do is spawn camp the yellow sum, finally adjust this into its victory position. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 5 servers in victory positions and 6 turns to power up. While we're at it, Neural Matrix is going to be all about building greens on 1, 3, and 5. If we enter it with a lot of greens on 4, then having greens built where they aren't common would be helpful, if that makes sense. And they do have to be greens, they can't be purples. But we can use purples to help build installations, so that's something. We could buy this and then use it to make our own enemies and then spread the greens. How many greens do we need at the start to enjoy our reward? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And there are no blue programs in play, so we will get the full value. That's very important that we get the full value. I'm tempted to have Michelangelo go next. Because if Mikey goes, he can potentially get this done and fill with viruses and fill with yellows so that Splinter can take his last turn to make um maybe just one more program. Oh, did this never get replaced? It should have gotten replaced. Yeah, and we got another neural spread. So now we get our options. Um, Taking a quick peek at Donatello. He's got shifts for days. And with a few places finally getting their stations up, his ability to ghost across the map is getting better. Not quite great yet, but better. Want to hold him in reserve one more round if possible, but he could absolutely buy the Neural Splash or the Viral Splash and either play it locally or ghost it globally. And both would make sense. He doesn't have a single red, does he? If he had the single red, he could buy a couple things from the market. That'd be great. See, even now, after all these turns, there's already double the number of... There's still double the number of turns there would have been in a single-player game left. Wow, that's a pathetic hand. You know what? We'll let Raphael go next. His server is set up. He can't possibly screw it up. He can dig for viral splash options and then try and build his empire. I think it's fine. Yeah. Alright. That's the plan. Raphael, you're up again. Try not to roll badly. Yellow. Yellow gets a spark on 5. That is not a strangle, thank God. Actually, that might even be helpful for pushing purposes. We'll find out in the future. But right now it's Raph to play. And his first thought is to RFG 1 for 1. And I find that hard to argue with. We've got green, blue, which we could buy for this. We lose a push in the future, which could be a big deal. But we get... Actually, he's not really the green focus right now, is he? He can make another red, but he can't make enough reds to do everything in one turn. He doesn't have enough access to... He could double push to bring stand stuff locally. And then make a red. And then turn that into an installation. That is an option. So that we get our combat in red and yellow set up on pink server. Um, could also do what? Could move the pink down here. Move over to get it. Nah, none of this is really suitable. Honestly, I hate to do it, but it's just the simplest and probably the correct answer. We're going to spend these two. Where am I putting this? Raphael's pile is here. To buy this, discarding this from the game. And then we're going to use this mountain we've developed here to make a viral splash happen. Can't ghost this action, so he's putting it all on himself. But he can pick his own square for a red, as well as two others. Go no guts, no glory, or we can glow weight of dice. If I do that, I probably clear a lot of the stress off of Blue's server. If I do that, ditto for pinks. SMC attack phase, one of those is going to win. Maybe not all of them, but decompress that server a little bit. That's a good idea in general, but in specific, we want to concentrate our reds until we get that installation built. And we still don't know where that's going to happen. So this is probably better. Then we'll go ahead and do a 2 attack. 1, 2, 3, 4 total. Raphael. 7 versus 7. Wait, did I do that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 versus 7. Discard from hand to up that to whatever it takes to win. 9. And that's a win. And now he's got 2 pushes left to his name. Um, what do we do with 2 pushes? With 2 pushes, you know what occurs to me is Angel Nitrate could have actually ghosted those over to here if he was so inclined, because when they sparks form on him, he can move them. It's too late to think of it, but I'll have to think of that next time. Push 2, right? He's gonna go 1 and 2. So we're not building an installation, but we are attacking every possible border square at the same time. Uh, that's something. Oh, and wouldn't you know it, Rachel's not Rachel. Raphael's not out of the game. He's got another turn left to him. So that's perfect. Let's get the market refreshed. Deception Strike is a quintessentially excellent card for Rupert if Splinter can afford it. He can turn in all of this for a wild, or better yet, these two for a wild and buy it. And that way he has another yellow-purple combo, which he really likes. I'm liking Rupert for next. All right, we're gonna go with it. It's gonna be Master Splinter. How are we doing on yellow-red programs? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-ish. We have some left. We have plenty left. Okay. And there's only one blue on the board, so we're not out of anything. Splinter's up. Spark blue. Is that a problem? That is not a problem. Agreed upon strategy. We're gonna spend this as 2 wilds. Yeah. This gets RFG'd, that gets kept. Alright, and then we'll buy the Deception Strike. This RFG for the Neural Splash. Oh wait, that's not the RFG pile. Organization is king if you ever try this mode, guys. It's insane to work without it. Go ahead and activate that, putting 2 sparks on current space, which is less than great, but spreading 3 greens across the network, and I think we've already decided on the right spaces for those, right? Here, here, and here. Oh, don't help green. Green's never gonna need the help. Here, I guess. Honestly, it doesn't matter if the SMC attack phase costs me those greens. This is just shooting for extra at this point. But why be silly? Just do that. Keep a good thing while you still can. Okay. Then we need to make a yellow in our current space. We can spend all 3 of these to do that, or just spend this. Just spend this then. Make another yellow. Now we have parity because yellow plus purple. We have parity, but we need to move these out of the way. That's always the problem, isn't it? Okay, instead of making another yellow, we'll just use a push, and we'll push this out of the... No, that's not going to help the problem. Problem is this guy. Okay, well, we'll move 2 spaces then. Over to... This is a strangle if we don't solve it this turn, so we have to solve it. Rupert can come over here. It's 0 to come here with this. We've got a problem. We can't move a yellow and a purple with just a purple. What a quandary. Oh. Let's back it up this far. I'm definitely standing by the ghosting action that we took. That was valuable. We're just going to use the Deception Strike as a Deception Strike to make a yellow. And then, in a very boring fashion, I see no way to move the yellow and purple over so that I can make the purple at the same time. I can push the spark out of the way, which is probably okay. I can carry the blue over, which is probably okay. But there's no way I can do everything at once, unfortunately. You know what? Back up a second. Pre-Deception Strike. This is here, this is not here, right? This is the picture. If I make 2 yellows, carry the purple away and come back... Nah, there's just no way. Yeah, okay, Deception Strike stands. Deception Strike stands. We do this, we get a yellow. We move our precious purple out of the way. We'll put it over here, I guess. So that's a 1 and a 2. We'll come back to where we are. And we'll use the remaining symbols we have, which is a yellow and a red, or yeah, a yellow and a red, to initiate a conversion here and do that. And that will free up the lack of space. Or better yet, no, it had to be because it's 2 plus 1. Alright, that's the turn. That's the turn. Master Splinter is done. His server is set on 4s. 4 more to go. Refresh the market. We definitely want Reset Spark on Raph if possible, since he's always going to be around reds, and it is possible. Raph, you're up. Wait, we forgot the Strangle check, which is actually relevant this time. Looks like everything is breathing okay, so we're good. Spark me. Yellow. Okay. Yellow gets a spark. Not on 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, but on 6. Oh, Christ. That's bad. Luckily, these guys are breathing in 1, but that's going to be a nasty board to deal with otherwise. And unfortunately, Raph is in no position to deal with it. Remove from game. Get that for 3. Buy this. Uh, these are fine, these are fine, these are not great. That can be left behind. 1 movement only is not going to get me there. What I'm thinking is if he pushes that down with the push and then moves here, he can reset Spark it dead. That's still something. But I don't want to put 4 deckers over here. I want to be positioned around the network efficiently. Slow as it is, it might be worthwhile to spend the time just getting ready for the long game. Like, build a red. Can't do more. We'd only make 1 red. That's pretty slow. That square has 2 reds. It doesn't have 3. And with only 1 movement, he's not going anywhere either. So, does anybody have a discardable single wild to help this guy? No? Nobody? Alright, never mind. Yeah, slow turn. What can you do? Happens sometimes. Move over 1. Leave the green behind because it's going to be used in the space it's in most likely. Reset Spark to remove. Oh, wait. No. Build a red, then move. And then this was to build the red. And then attack for 2. Plus 3, 4. 5, 6, 7 versus 7. I don't believe it. Go ahead and discard that. Leonardo will back you up this time. Make sure you don't lose every single fight. And then with just 1 push, which is all we get, we'll use this to push this to here. Actually, we're kind of going for those unnecessary fights, so maybe push this to... No, that creates a strangle. We can't do that. Here? It's a little out of the way. Here. Oh, wait, here. Oh, sweet. That's the mission objective. Yeah, that's exactly what we'll do. No strangles. Mission objective is now on pass mode. Three more turns. Three more turns, and then we will end this video because it has gone long. Let's go with. Anybody got a single red? Want to upgrade it? This would be a good time. Or a couple singles of yellow red or yellow red. Looks like we have a single red here. So who is this? Mikey. Mikey, why don't you take the turn? All right, far out. Blue spark. Entire thing is spider webbed, but we're still okay somehow. Um, MC Mikey. We're good here. Got a lot of stress points, but nothing breaking. We're gonna potentially ghost to here for the double. Not ghost to here. We're gonna use the other player for the double yellow. Then move those double yellows. Walk over here. Pick them up, bring them back, carry them to here. Or better yet, here. How did I do that again? 1, 2. No. We don't have free movement if I do that. So I made the double yellows. I paid 2 movement. I can 0, 1, come back here 2, but I can't return again. So best I can do is 2 movements to 1, 2, bring them to me. And that's actually good enough for what I have in mind. We're gonna make some upgrades, right? So red plus read receptor interceptor thingy. We'll keep the read request intercept, of course, and we'll RFG the red in favor of a wild. Remove and it's identical, right? 2 ping nexuses. Yep. Okay, so we'll take a ping nexus. Wait, did I put this in? I put it in the wrong box. Put it in the wrong box. It belongs in Michelangelo's box, of course. Okay, and now use this yellow yellow and treat that as a yellow to make a new yellow installation. Where's Mikey? On this board. And with that new yellow installation, are we really down to just 2 sparks? Oh man, I didn't realize how low we had gotten. We're gonna lose on sparks if we don't do something about sparks. Lucky for us, we've got a big kill phase coming up. We'll go ahead and make another program here. Who's left? Blue and green. We'll go ahead and use all of this to make 2 yellows. Do we have lots of yellows left in the box? Yeah, okay. We'll make 2 yellows on our preferred space with this guy, Mikey. And then with our 2 last reds, we can do nothing. We will not buy the catalyst because in my opinion... No, you know what? We will buy the catalyst. No, I'd rather have this available for other purposes, so we'll leave it off. And that is that. If there was a way to have not been on this square, it would have been better, but it's fine. Nothing is strangled, so we're still okay. Starting with Leonardo or with Don. We'll let Leonardo go. Next. Sparking on red. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a catastrophe. That leads to strangles. But not many of them, so we should have an opportunity to fix this. Market just gave us something good. Double yellow, double green. Alright, I'm gonna spend a double yellow and a blue. Remove from game the double yellow, keep the blue. And we'll use that to buy this. This can just straight remove a spark from an adjacent space or from your own space. So we'll remove this spark, guaranteed. Leonardo doing what he's got to do. We've got a double push available, and we've got a lot of movement available. So we're gonna turn 1, 2. Actually, we'll buy this too. Why not? Prefer to dig. We'll turn double push, and we'll turn blue, 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 and wild into 2 wilds, and we'll use that to generate 2 attack power, and we will infect our current space for the value of 2. This is a bit of a risk, I admit, but I mean, what is the alternative, right? And it's even dice, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 versus... let's say 7 versus 5, so that is enough. And then with our last 2 pushes... where do we want this? It's in a fine spot, honestly. I want to save this if possible, but I don't know how I can possibly do it with just 2 pushes. And I don't think I want to save it enough to waste good resources on it, because I'd rather have the more greens available in the next phase. We are going to need blues to win the game with, though, for the signal. So having a few lying around would not hurt. I can do this, and then make it a matter of saving the green later. Green is inherently more savable than blue, and this gives me a pathway, so that's fine. I mean, that's fine. Or we could do this, and just go all or none on that space. That's better. We'll do that. No. Pathway into green. That's fine. Okay, done. Now, the last turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You have too many cards. And one of them is a blue starting card, so I somehow discarded my double push into your pile. My fault. Spark me and mark it. Pink gets a spark. I forgot to check for strangles, but we should have been fine. Yeah. Pink gets a spark on where? It's gotta be 1. Ooh, interesting. That is a strangle if we don't deal with it. Lucky for us, the board has been set for us. Donatello can remote his action to there, and he can use that to create a green if he's so inclined. Looking at the board, Copycat is well worth buying. So if we pay all of this, we can get a Copycat. Or we can go green, red, yellow, blue. And RFG this, which is the least of my cards. Donatello is absolutely doing his thing of building tools for the rest of the team to win with, and I have no problem with that. And then... what else, I guess? There's nothing to copycat. There's nothing I can buy that's worth copycatting. I guess we just set up the board for the win. We're leaving all of this craziness on here. That's fine. In fact, we'll lean into it. We do need to save that, so let's do that first. Convert. Yellow green. That one installation, man. It's paid for itself. We'll use a remote action to produce 3 yellows? Nah. Think locally. Make a single red. And then push it over. So we're generating 2 push actions. Push. And where else needs a push anywhere on the board? This is your time, man. Get it right. This guy. Push. And with the last wild and red, there's not much to do. I'm definitely not buying anything in the market with this. But I'll tell you what I am doing. I'm going to make another yellow. So that even if we spark that space, it's got parity. Or we could put the yellow here, I guess. Spread it around. Yeah, that works too. And that, at last, is the last move of the phase. Alright, we're going to quickly finish off this. I will give you guys my thoughts while we roll a billion SMC attacks. But we've managed to do this with no strangles anywhere, so no instant losses of installations or anything like that. Actually, I'm going to put this one card face up so that we show how far through the deck we've dug. In the meantime, SMC attack on 3, they win. SMC attack on 2, they win. SMC attack on 1, we win. Thank God. I thought we weren't going to win any of them. SMC attack on 1, they win. SMC attack on 1 again, they win. And this will just die. SMC attack on 1, finally we got one. And yeah, that was about as bad luck as we could possibly have had, and not possibly, but still, it's okay. We got rid of 2 sparks. We lost 5 programs to get rid of 2 sparks. I'm not sure I would call that a win exactly. But 2 on 4, 2 on 4, 2 on 4, 2 on 4, 2 on 4. Exactly 2 on space 4 on every Decker's home server. Remove 1 spark on any space 4 and place a green there instead. Repeat as many times as you wish and are able. I'll do 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, please. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And suddenly this whole Technodrome is looking a whole lot less stable. We just wrecked that phase. We've built up some much stronger decks for the next cycle. We've debulked the server's sparks significantly. We've created multiple installations, although I will admit Raphael suffered quite a bit. There are no spark movements against Spider. That is the end of phase 1 of, or cycle 1 of the Technodrome run. 15 sparks out of the box. We only have 1 green-blue program left. It looks like we actually managed to end this phase with only 1 pink program in play total. Going into the next phase of Neural Matrix, where we have to spread greens all over the place, we are extremely well positioned. We already have 3 green, 3 green, 3 green, 2 green, 2 green, so we're pretty close to the counts we need. And who knows, we can even build some ghosting stations to help us out with message queue or ShellShock as we get to them. Ugh, that was quite something. I hope you all enjoyed this. I know it's a little bit overwhelming, I guess, but that was definitely by design. I had a blast, but I'm definitely not doing this all in one run. I'm going to leave this out for next time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Uh, yeah, stay tuned for the Technodrome run to continue. I will see you guys next time.